Hi beauties, today we're going to make a card. We're going to be using the Daisy Delight. I'm going to be using this thank you here. And then I'm going to be using the punch that goes along with the daisy there. I've got my Stampin' Trimmer. We're going to be using some basic gray cardstock. I've got my base. I cut the 8.5 by 11 right down the center. And so that gave me a 4.5, and then I scored it at, that gave me a 4 1/4, and I scored it in 5.5. So then I'm going to take my Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to get my Stampin' Trimmer out. And I'm going to do this just a little bit smaller. So if I had it at 4 1/4, I'm going to do it at, let's see, I'll take 1/4 inch around each side. So I'm going to do it at 3 3/4. So we're going to cut that. And then if I normally had it at 5.5, I want to take a 1/4 inch and a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to take it 1/2 inch off of that. And now when I put these two together, I should have a great little 1/4 inch border all the way around. So there's that. We've got those pieces. Put this away for the time being. And then I'm going to take my basic gray, and I'm going to cut out, punch out 2 of these. Now I don't really know what I'm coming up with. Usually when I do, I show you the card that I've made, and then I know I'm going to come up with it again. But this time I'm just like, I want to make a card, and I want to use some embossing powder because I haven't used it in a while. So we're also going to use some embossing powder. I've always have the embossing buddy just because it gets rid of all the little static. So I got those 2 pieces, and I have some white Stampin' Emboss powder. And I have to go grab the my Versamark. So that is what helps to make everything stick. So I have tons of Versamark pads just in case one's not really juicy enough. And then I could have just re-inked it, but I ran and grabbed it real quick. So I'm going to use this one. And we're going to take the thank you. Put that right on here, and I'm going to take the thank you here. I know embossing was a request from a couple of you beauties, so I wanted to make sure I got that request taken care of. So Versamark is just a really thick, clear, doesn't dry really quick, and it's just, it can leave a watermark if you don't use any embossing powder, but I'm going to use the embossing powder, so I'm just going to stick this right down here. And then I don't know if you can see it or not, but it does leave a little bit of a watermark there. So it does stay wet for a while. And then I'm just going to take my white and put this right over. And of course I didn't use my embossing buddy like I said I was going to, because I always forget. And then you'll see that that's stuck on there. If I would have used my embossing buddy, it wouldn't have stuck. Sometimes I think, am I just making mistakes just to make mistakes? But anyways, when I don't have my embossing buddy, or if I just forget and a little bit gets stuck, I just take just a brush and brush off any extra, which I really don't see much. I only had a little bit right here, and I got rid of that. Some people don't like to do the click like that. I don't mind it. So I'm going to put this aside and put this aside. Now if I touch it, it's going to smudge. So I'm just going to leave that aside because it's not dry. So once you heat emboss it, then it'll dry itself. So then I wanted to play around with the Versamark. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of tap the edges of these in there so the edges of the petals get some Versamark on there. And it looks like I'm getting some. So I'm just tapping this down, just in random places. And I don't know if you can see, there's little bits here and there. You'll be able to see it a little bit better once I stick some embossing powder on there. And make sure you cover up your embossing powder and your embossing ink. And then this one, I really didn't care if some of it sticks. That's fine with me. But I am still going to, oh, see how I touched it there? See how it rubbed off? So you can see I'm blowing some of it off because I really still want some of that gray to see, to kind of sneak by. So I'm going to take this because I really don't want any right around here so much. So I'm going to kind of brush that off. And it'll still have some here and there. But I just don't want a lot of it. And so I'm going to kind of just go, and it's not going to make a perfect circle, and I'm okay with it. Just going to kind of get some of it off. If you can see what I'm doing there. Just kind of getting rid of it. Okay. And then the same around the edges. Just rubbing my fingers around the edges. And it's going to leave a little bit of a gray from that basic gray cardstock as well. There we go. Again, I'm just kind of doing what I want to do. I don't really know exactly how this is going to come out. But again, you want to get your powder away because you do not want the heat to heat that powder up. So I'm going to take my heat emboss gun and I'm going to emboss these two here. And I'm going to kind of hold it with my tool here with my brush. And you'll know when the heat emboss is all done because you'll see it turn colors. You can see that. You'll see it kind of melt there. Whoop. There we go. And then I'll show you here up a little bit closer so you can see it turn colors. Hoping you can see that. See how half of it is done and the other half is not yet. And there you go. So we've got that, and now this is all dry. So if I went to try and get some of this off, none of it's going to be coming off here. It's all good. Okay, this one's going to be pretty quick, pretty easy. A lot of fun embossing. Just keep hitting the camera. A lot of fun just watching the embossing. If you haven't embossed before, you definitely want to do that. So I'm going to take this as my base. I'm going to want that here. And then I'm trying to decide if I want the white flower and then this one here, or if I want it to go this way and then this way, which is nice as well. So I just have the two flowers, and I'm kind of just off setting them. And I think I'm going to have this in the back. And then this one with it. Yeah. I'll look one more time just to make sure. I don't know, that kind of looks nice too. Then I am going to have some decoration on there. Let's see. And then I do have the iridescent boxwood wreath embellishments, and I think I'm going to see how this works on it as well. It comes with 12 of them, so that's really cool. But I think I'm going to just use it as a kind of like this. Actually, I don't think I'm going to use it now that I see it. It's throwing off a little bit too pink for me. Okay. So I'm just looking to see if there's anything else that I might want on here. I think we're good. I think I like to keep everything really pretty basic on here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this down nice and tight. Actually, I think what I'll do is use my Tombow glue here, because I want it to be completely stuck down, because when you do emboss, you can see that it has a little bit of a curve to it. So I'm just going to put it all around here on the edges, and then all in here as well, because I want it all to be stuck down. I don't want any of it to be up. And then I do it the same way, where I line up the corners and the top, and then everything else should fall into place. I'm going to turn that upside down there. There we go. Now it's nice and flat on there. I'm still going to stick my my case on top of it, just for a little bit of pressure while I'm working on these pieces. And then I'm going to take these pieces and I'll stick them together. And I think what I've decided is to go with the pink in the back. I'm not the pink. I don't even know what I was thinking. I think I was still thinking of this pink here. But I think I'm going to stick with this. in the back. So I'm going to put a little bit here. And I love this glue instead of the tape for working with pieces like this, because let's say I offset it by accident, it gives me enough time to wiggle room and get it where I want it. So I think, yeah, that's perfect right there. And then I'm going to take this guy. I'm just going to get my little tool out here and put him I didn't leave myself enough room to grab it. There we go. And I'm going to stick him right in the middle. So cute. Okay. So we'll get this die back around here. We've got our thank you. We stick that guy right there. And I think what we'll do is we'll pop him up just a little bit. So we'll get our Stampin' Dimensional. Put that right in the middle. And then stick that guy right in the middle. And then I think the last thing we kind of need to do, and that's not the color that I want, but I'm going to look for some little adhesives. There's some white. There's some pearl. And that again gives off some green. Or we can use some rhinestones as well. But I think what I like are these little white enamel pieces here. So we're just going to put a couple pieces here. Another one here. We'll put one more right here. And then we'll take a couple of these little guys. We'll just put it right here. And look how cute that little card is. Super quick, super simple. And you guys, let me just show you another little guy that was made using that same exact punch. Isn't that cute? Got a little high on there. It was embossed with the basket weave, and it was just stuck on a popsicle stick the same exact way, and then a back piece stuck together. And then I said popsicle, but it's a lollipop stick. So isn't that super cute? Both of these are from the same punch. So I think these are really cute. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. I'll of course put all the links below if you wanted to grab any of your own Stampin' Up! Stuff. So let me know in the comments below if you would have had the white in the back or the front, or if you just wouldn't have embossed. Let me know what you would have done, or what you wouldn't have done. All right, beauties. I will see you next time, and have a good day. Bye.
1, 2, 3.